Hello gamers, Agathor here with a guide to the improvised bow in 0.48. There's been a few changes to the bow in 0.48. Craftable arrows were added and the dispersion of the bow has been lowered. Before we get into that, here's a guide on how to get the Ashwood bow and ammo in probably the most efficient way. Here's a list of what we will need before we go hunting for chickens: an axe or Ashwood stick, a knife or machete, and a piece of rope. All of these items can be found in industrial loot spawns found in industrial buildings. This includes nearly all warehouses and sheds, but you can also find these items quite easily in house blocks and especially the corner pub. At this point you're unlikely to have an Ashwood stick and should hopefully have an axe instead. Luckily you can get an Ashwood stick from this or this tree. These trees are positioned all around Chernarus, but you'll need an axe to cut down these trees to get the Ashwood stick. Now that you have your Ashwood stick and rope, craft the bow, combining it together without accidentally crafting a fishing rod. The next step is ammo. You can find composite arrows at ammo loot spawns, but they only come in a maximum stack of 5 and can be quite hard to find. This makes crafting arrows a much more reliable and efficient way to get ammo for the bow. One of the materials required for crafting arrows is feathers. These can only currently be found by skinning chickens. At this time there are 4 towns with chicken spawns in Chernarus: Kozlovka, DayZ, Vaishnoi and Mista. Here is where you'll likely find a chicken in each of these towns: in Kozlovka up the hill, in DayZ southwest in the tree line, in Vaishnoi by the long wooden warehouse, and finally in Mista to the west of the town. Be aware that goats also share the same spawn point as a chicken. Chickens are easily killed without a ranged weapon. Once you've killed one, skin it and you should get 20 feathers and some meat. Now that you have a decent amount of feathers, start chopping down some bushes with your knife to get wooden sticks. Remember to frequently check the quality level of your knife or machete while cutting down bushes. If you happen to ruin it, a hacksaw will work on the next part. Alternatively, using a stone on a badly damaged bladed weapon will restore it to the damaged quality level. This can be repeated. The next part is sharpening the wooden sticks. You can do this with a knife, machete or hacksaw. Unfortunately, sharpened sticks do not stack, so craft 5 at a time, then add the feathers to the sharpened sticks. Once you've crafted 5 improvised arrows, stack them together, place them in your bow, and then craft until you're happy with the amount of ammo you have. In 0.48, dispersion for the bow has been significantly reduced, but when I first tested the bow at 25 meters, I noticed there seemed to be a huge amount of dispersion. After a few more tests, it became clear that weapon sway plays a big role in the accuracy of the bow. To get an accurate shot with the bow, you need to wait until the bow sways to the far left. If your bow is swaying to the far right, you will notice that the arrow flies far off to the left. Another thing I noticed with the bow is that you don't have to pull the arrow all the way back on the bow for the arrow to go its maximum distance, meaning you can play like Legolas. However, the bow continues to sway during rapid fire, so getting your arrows in line with your crosshair is a very difficult task. The effective range of a single full drawn arrow from the bow, given that you shoot when the weapon sways left, is a lowly 10 meters, whereas the effective range of a rapid fire is less than 5 meters, making the bow only useful in close combat situations. If we couple those facts with how you can't move while drawing the bow and the many steps involved with getting the bow, we have one of the worst ranged weapons in DayZ standalone. Now that is to be expected from a crafted wooden weapon, but I believe the bow shouldn't have so much weapon sway and the arrow should travel at least twice as far before dipping. On the plus side, the bow is very powerful, one-shotting players in the upper chest, back or head, along with one-shotting civilian zombies and animals on any body part. Military zombies on the other hand require 2 shots to the upper chest, and it looks like the composite arrow has the exact same stats as the improvised arrow. They cannot stack together, however. The bow also gives us proof that ricochets are in DayZ, which I'll probably do some tests on later. For now, if you're going to use the bow in combat, I would highly recommend setting up a mini archery range to get used to the timing of the bow and the arrow drop rate. To conclude this guide, the bow by far is the hardest ranged weapon to use in DayZ. I see only the very stealthy, skilled or lucky players getting kills with this weapon. As for me, I would only use this weapon to kill zombies quietly, but it also gives you the sense that you're a ninja. Thanks for watching, happy shooting apples, and I will see you in the next video.